Foot race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Nolaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teskey. Look at the snipe, that a prop? He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be really kill feed there, but there's Mirage.
The Amateur World League 2023 season is presented by Gorilla, the new place to get great. Host tournaments for free, set up scrims, and earn more at gorilla.gg. The 2023 season is also brought to you by NYXP, your new gaming sanctuary. AWL players have access to discounted rates at the NYXP LAN Center in Kingston, New York. AWL stats are presented by LobbyUp. Connect with LobbyUp for esports tournament adminning today. Now, it's time to continue with our Major 1 qualifiers.
Yo, what's cooking, gamers? The gaming chef here with my man's Graph. What is cooking, buddy?
I think we're about to cook up something absolutely fierce here with both of these two teams going at it, as we have the side of Myst going up against Battalion. Both of these two teams, they're fighting for that winner's bracket spot for the Open Qualifiers Week 5 for this Gorilla tournament. And let's actually take a look at the standings right now. As Myst, they got their first win on the board just recently, as they sit at 1-3, so they still have a chance to get themselves into that winner side. And then for Battalion, they are right above them in that number 7, sitting at 2-2. If they lose, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll be in the losers. They still have a chance, but I just have a feeling this is going to be a great series here, Chef.
Yeah, I can definitely feel the great series. You know, Battalion sitting at that 2-2. It could go either way. Myst trying to get that bounce back. I'm not sure when that one win was, if that was on their last one, if they're trying to streak it up. But, Battalion and Myst both sitting in the middle here. They can definitely make some moves. You know, Battalion getting that win, that could push them all the way to 3rd place pending the rest of those matches, and that is huge for them. And Myst kind of gatekeeping the bottom tier brackets, trying to move up through. Looking at the numbers, I think that this is definitely an important match to decide where the rest of this series is going to go.
I couldn't agree with you more, and let's actually talk about what these guys are going to be cooking up here. Let's take a look at both of these two teams, as we have Myst They are on a miracle run right now. Like I said, they ended up getting their first win just recently, so they're looking to keep that going. And a win, they are in for that winner side bracket of the Week 5 qualifiers. And that's just one thing you got to be looking out for. And then not to mention one of their big players, Ken Kex, go massive for them to keep that streak alive.
Yeah, and looking over on the side of Battalion, Misfire still recovering. I mean, look at this stuff right here. He has no time in the hill on the clip right here. That's what I'm seeing. 3-2 record for the win. We already went over, and then the win going into tournament. Who knows? Who knows? I think that this could get him up to that third place spot, pending the rest of what we've seen. And looking at our featured player over here, 73 overall, 64 on hardpoint, 87 S&D, 69 control. That S&D stat very high here for Kex. Like you had mentioned there earlier, we're going to keep an eye out on him, what he can get done. That S&D looks good.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest question for, I think, this Myst team is, can they take the S&D and can they improve on the respawn? I know they're playing with the substitute. Actually, both teams currently are. But let's talk about the maps coming on up. And I know, Chef, this is one of your favorite ones. It is Hotel. It's all about the rotations, as we all know. And there's going to be a P3 in the kitchen. And I know you got a few jokes lined on up for that one.
Oh, yeah.
But then we head on into the El Asilo map 2, and this is where we like to see kind of snipers come out, watch an entire lane. But God forbid, Chef, I know the last time we were casting together, somebody who brought out a sniper, you were not happy. So we'll have to see if that will happen again. But then we're going back to the Hotel. If we end up
that was
going
on
to
Hotel, I thought I wasn't happy. I'm pretty sure.
It was. And if we end up going to the map 4, it will be Fortress, where your submachine guns have to fry. And then if to round it all out, we got the Embassy Search and Destroy. What are you thinking about this map pool here, Chef?
I love the spread. Hotel's definitely the fan favorite. Love seeing that. We're guaranteed to get both of those games, so I sure hope them teams have been practicing that map. Because if you got that map down, I mean, you just got to get one other one, and you're set, ready to get cooking. So, I mean, that's some quality spread. I think that if you're good on one map, you'll be all right on another one. If you're bad on any of them, you got a different map coming up. And looking at some roster changes here, if you want to go through Team Myst here.
Yeah, Myst, so we will have a substitute coming on in. As I once said, it was Xeno, and this is a player, a submachine gun, that can really fry at any moment. I think he's a player where he needs his confidence coming in really quick in this series. I think if he ends up starting slow, he will have a slow series. But then on the other side, you see Shadow substituting on in for the Battalion Squadron, and he is also going to be on that submachine gun role. We'll happen to see where these players kind of kick it on off, but Kex, he's the player to look out for on Team Myst.
Yeah, interesting to know how they got that S&D stat, but I do love my S&D. Not sure if we'll see some snipers pull out. I know that it said he was an SMG stat line. And running on a CeeLo, that SMG, it's all about either you're going around getting the flanks or you're just straight up the middle, getting that bomb down and protecting it in the middle of the map, just staying away from all the sniper lanes altogether. And then them ARs close in on you and use that SMG to your strength. So I can see maybe him pulling through if he is the bomb defender or planter. I think that could work for him.
That's going to be the biggest question, right? Who's going to be able to take this Search and Destroy Battalion? They're just looking to stay ahead of the curtain. Like you said, it will get them up to that 3-2 spot. And Myst, they're fighting for that winner's bracket. You don't want to be on the loser side because you'll go up against one team. If you go down, you're completely out of that major one. So that's going to be the biggest thing I think Myst is looking to counteract. But when you are looking at this map 1, Hardpoint Hotel, what are some factors that you think Myst have to do to stay ahead of this one?
On Hotel, definitely, like most hardpoint maps, you got to get those players rotating early. And Hotel, there's a couple spots that just have that power position, like you got up on top of the apartment. when that rolls over to the restaurant, you know, those booths are so hard to attack on. You can literally be anywhere down there. I believe it looks like we're loading in here, so it's going to be interesting to see how the substitutions work in the teams. They're both rocking with one, so, you know, the strats aren't going to be all there. And one thing I've noticed as well with Hotel, some teams lack on is being able to work from one position into the next. You know, you're an anchor, and all of a sudden you got to be the guy rotating out. You got to be the man breaking the hill. Like, can you get that done in a pinch? Are you keeping your head up? Are you looking for maybe an SMG if you're rocking AR so you can keep that versatility?
Yes, then let's get right on into it as we are kicking off this map one, Breenberg Hotel, as Kexi will find one before he's immediately dropped, as it is the side of Myst being on the non-dominant one, on the non-dominant P2 area, so they're going to try to lock down as much of this opening time and maybe try to find one of those rotations, and like you said, it just kind of flips on a dime. You can be that player who's being the anchor, then immediately get caught out on that rotation. I like what Zeno already starting off hot at 2-1. He's taking a deep route, and he might have just got by. I believe that's Killrook sitting back and maybe on the bottom stairs. Will he catch him out? As yes, he was laying at the bottom and wasn't expecting the little snake in the concrete, and already it's going to be a battle for these P2 spawns.
Yeah, P2 seemed like it was the hot spot to be. Myst kind of got free 99 there all the way on P1. Looking at the KDs, they're looking pretty solid here. Stunna Goat rocking that 4-0 has yet to drop, possibly going for that streak. And, you know, streaks aren't too valuable on this map, but you can usually sneak it in a window or so and get some good positioning. The desk, definitely the hot spot. You see Zeno looking for some bodies. Absolutely hot off of there. Snaking, like you said, up and down, trying to catch these players off. But they know they cannot enter this room. It's not even the fact that he's not killing them constantly. It's just that they know he's there, and they have to get him off of that spot in order to take this point whatsoever.
That man was snaking like the front desk when you ring the bell, and then you go and look away, he pops up, and then when you turn back, he pops down. That's just kind of how it felt like when you're trying to check on in. But we are over to the favorite spot. It is the P3 kitchen, as I know a lot of these teams are trying to get these early rotations, but a lot of the time, if you do get those spawns, it's kind of difficult if that opposing team has broken their way on in through the front, because they can hold it for a very large majority of that time, and it is 4 members down for the side of Battalion. Myst already. They are at the fryers, and it's finger licking good right now.
Yeah, Myst is doing an amazing job here holding it off, but you see now Battalion is getting in there, because one thing Myst was not doing was anchoring that spawn. No one was out of the kitchen. All of them were in there cooking, but no one was waiting on any tables. And, you know, the customers, they were starving out there, and Battalion took full advantage of that, came in, kind of wiped off some of the points that Myst could have gotten here. But look at the rotations. It's looking all Battalion. It is only Kex over there, the man we need to watch. And look at this guy frying him up out there. They have to get him out of this spot. He's in the power position. He's anchoring this spawn. He's pushing Battalion out of the spot. And Myst is on the clock. Look at this. It's crazy they were even to get this point.
My goodness, Kex is hitting absolute beams right now as he's sitting on the backside stairs, and he literally did it all for the side of Team Myst. He got that rotation and won 3 critical gunfights. He's looking to win another one. Unfortunately, it will be Zaya who takes him down, but Strezzy, he's immediately there for the return sender trade. And back on into the point, it is Battalion, as they've actually been rotating quite a few players into the new hill. They just haven't been able to capitalize on those kills, and that's where I love to say, making big plays in big ways. And Myst, they're surely doing it here early, as they are starting to run away with this lead, as they might extend it to almost 100.
Yeah, and like we've seen on the kitchen, fail on Myst, not getting that anchor in spot on that last point. We've seen Kex anchor it like crazy. I mean, I'd even go saying like he put the whole boat, not even the anchor, on that point, because he was not moving. And then Stunna Goat absolutely destroyed the rest of the points for his team. Everyone got time ticked on the side of Myst, and Battalion not many players really got much going on. Shadow got almost 30 seconds with 13 and 12, pulling heavy work as he's in the restaurant here with Strezzy. Oh, man, the Battalion finally has a point. It's interesting to see if they can hold this one out and get back in the game.
These are some crucial 30 seconds needed to at least just get themselves back into striking distance. But you look at the bottom of your minimap, it's number 4, Easy. He's rotating so far out into that roof side spawn. And now he should be able to lock that down, but it's going to be, once again, Kex. Can he stay alive and win this gunfight? No, and that's 3 members dropping from the side of Myst. So this should be an open point here to start, but the members of Battalion, they are there ready to go. Killrook, he's going to be that first member hopping on into that point. He's going to have to meet 2 players of the Myst, but Shadow from range takes down 1, takes down 2, and so far this is looking good for Battalion.
Yeah, and look at Zeno, took a shot, and we see all the time, one guy shoots from behind your spawn, all 4 players turn around to shoot him, and that lined up Myst to move up even closer, but Easy, though, working that beautiful double, looking into a triple, just enough damage for a stun, it looks like, to finish him off. Oh my goodness. That was some serious defense. A lot of points going the way of Battalion here. Myst looking for the triple push. Couldn't get much done there as they clean it up. They have that full control of the map. They have the advantage side going back to a fresh set of points. They're going to be able to get that walkway control here as you see Kex getting that kill. Almost like you can see right through the wall, locking onto that player. Right on the other side, see how we can do this push. Wow, Kex working this. This whole team is snaking absolutely insanely. Finally, Shadow gets him off. Wow, what a bunch of insane gun skills we're seeing here from the team of Myst.
I mean, I can't believe how fast these players are bobbing up and down. It's insane. It just feels like that. The guy's playing the flute and the Cobra's coming out of the little basket, up and down, bobbing his head, bobbing, weaving, but dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. All the way through as Stun a Goat. He will double 2 players up from the side of Battalion, and this is where they actually got started. They locked down roughly 40 seconds in that opening break, and they're about to do it again, and that just kind of feels like Battalion. They're really playing heavy on the rotations, but you can't give up 40 seconds on that opening P1. I think that's maybe something they're going to have to adjust on when they come back and look at the VOD, because Myst, they're still holding an 80-point lead over here to this P2 Pillars Hill. Strezzy, he's going to find a player working on the backside, but Killrook, oh my goodness, Strezzy snaps onto him, but Zaya still in and around the point, not quite at double negative and only has 16 seconds. He's going to need some support. Can he win these gunfights? Yes, he can, and his players should be there. Battalion, they are holding strong here.
Yeah, Zaya looking to put in some work for his team. He's sitting at almost double negative, not much time on the hill. So I love seeing him go big here, getting those points, getting that defense, working well. The rest of his team doesn't have really any map control at all, but the one spot they're controlling is the spot that matters. They are all over this hard point. They are not ready to rotate right now, but most of Myst is pushed in there, really fighting for this 15 seconds, and Zeno with that beautiful triple, looking to hold off that point here. 5 seconds into the rotation. It's only Kex in there, but Kex might be all they need as he is a one-man team cooking up on the line. It is the full special of Battalion on the menu. Look at this guy cooking all this up. He's going to grab the frying pan, get this smacked across his face. No, he's out of there with a stun. How does he keep killing people? Oh my gosh, Easy, Zaya in there doing an amazing job from Battalion. I don't see any anchors from either team, so I think this can go either way.
Yeah, and Kex, that was such an incredible play just to stay alive and preserve his life. He was basically like Remy and Ratatouille because he was a one-man band in that kitchen. And then once all the players from Battalion kind of came on in, they were like the inspectors and all the rats, they kind of scurried away. But Myst, they are still trying to break on in and fight for these last 15 because those are some big seconds in Shadow. That is a massive gunfight for Battalion. And look at this, they're right back into this game. They'll push it within 30 as they're grabbing the last of the scrap. Finally, it is Stun a Goat as he finds 2. He's looking to find the 3rd, but Killrook, he has been on another level. When the side of Battalion needs a massive play, Killrook has found doubles and triples consistently through this hotel.
Yeah, look at Myst, just under 50 to go here. Battalion is still in it, 40 points behind. I feel like they definitely caught up in momentum. I wish they would have started out as hot as they're doing now, because this game would have been tied up, if not in Battalion's favor, because those first 2 points were really all missed, and it's really showing in this lead right now. But, Battalion, they're out here. They're doing it. They don't get much map control like Myst does, but they're able to control the points, and that's what's getting them the score to take this lead. See, a minute and a half on Shadow, over a 30 bomb right now, with Strezzy looking to match it on the opposite side with a very close time as well. So it's really Strezzy versus Shadow holding it off. I know we've seen Kex pull off some crazy moves. Xeno, Stunna, really everyone kind of had their own little spot. And we also got Kilrook and Zaya hitting 30 on the deaths. So, it's really going either way. It's going to be interesting to see how S&D and Control goes with the KDs I'm seeing.
And I love the rotation that Myst just had. They gave up those last 10 seconds, but unfortunately they were trying to push to the middle of the map too far, so they left one player on the point. He immediately goes down because the side of Battalion, they spawned in that backside jewelry, and they're back on in to the restaurant. They're trying to take over this reservation. They're fighting over these last few spots. As Strezzy, though, he goes massive, finds a two-piece. Kilrook can't do it, and Kex, he will snag another two. Myst can actually win it on this hill here. So if you're Battalion, you have one more chance at trying to break this, or at least contesting it easy. He does exactly that. He's going to at least extend it to a roofside hill, and they get the last 8 seconds. But once again, on the rotations, it's going to be Myst. And like you said, Chef, they just haven't been able to hold the hills for a majority of that time, and right now they're getting kicked out of it early.
Yeah, Strezza just got killed off of the next point. It is pretty much all on Kex. Kex has to win this for his team, at least pick one of the players off, turn them around. Xeno trying to get up there. It is only Strezzy left. 20 seconds left. That whole team has to make a move. They're spawning in kitchen, but Ize is there. Oh my goodness, the score is completely tied. Battalion takes the lead for the first time in map 1. They have the positions. They're getting closed on. Myst is now on the point. This could go either way. Battalion trying to get up here on the mantle. Kex is sitting there at 5 health. They finally get him out of the corner. Oh my gosh, look at this. 3, 2, 1. Ize's there. 1 point left, trying to finish it up. He can't get it done. Oh my gosh.
What is going on? Chef has his 2-7-2-49. Myst will finally get it in the dying seconds of that P6 rooftop hill, and it came down to the wire, but it was a matter of who is gonna be that master chef. And surely it was the side of Myst as they got it done, but my goodness, that game got a lot closer than I think anybody was expecting from the way that it started.
Yeah, oh my, down to 249 and almost didn't get it done. It feels so bad. Kex was able to finish up the meal. He had it plated and put out. And the team of Myst, I feel like they were just slowly kind of getting it in their heads that they got it, and just wasn't keeping the communication possibly within the team. The trades weren't happening as often as I would have liked to have seen out there. And we've seen Kilrook there with the feature at the end. Honestly, both teams did well. Obviously, coming down to just 3-point deficit at the end. But Battalion really had that comeback. I need them to start as strong as they finish there. Have that push that they had at the end the whole game. And I think that they can continue very well in not only this series, but the rest of the season.
That's going to be a massive uplift for the side of Myst, and maybe a huge sigh of relief as well, as they got it done with the last 3 seconds, 250 to 247. But now we're heading on in to a completely different mode. It's going to be El Asilo, and the biggest thing I think you have to hint on for this search and destroy is, can you take over middle of the map? If you are getting bullied out, you kind of have to go and take a field side approach, where a lot of times everybody's kind of able to hold on that backside hill with a sniper and AR, take a lot of those off angles, and when you have that player on the island, usually he's able to find a pick, and if not, a second one at that. So I think who's ever going to be able to take the middle of this map in that B site is going to be able to take this map too.
Yeah, I love how you mentioned there the middle of the map is really the king, because pretty much it's SMG territory, but the map is so big it pushes you into that sniper or AR. And I mean, you get that control, and you got the SMG, and you're just peeking out the windows. You have the full map you can just play with. You got the bomb sites right under you, but you know the snipers really just lock down that outside. I believe it's B is the one that's not in the building. That one is like full control for snipers and ARs, but the SMGs really are king for getting control of that middle of the map, and that is who can protect your snipers and AR. And it's really a huge team effort map. Everyone pushing out towards whatever the players are calling it nowadays. The electric outside the electric tower. That's huge for sniper and AR control. You get complete 50% of the map just sitting in one spot. So there's a lot of strategies, and with both teams having a substitution, it'd be interesting how they play with the strategies.
Rook is the player that I'm going to be highlighting from the side of Battalion, because he was starting to heat on up through the middle of that first map. And the way that he was shooting, it didn't seem like he was losing too many 1v1s. He was actually winning a lot of 1v2s. So I think for Battalion, you really rely on Rook to potentially be that IGL and be the tip of the spear. Work your way on into those offensive plants on that A site. Don't get bullied out first. That's going to be the biggest thing for both of these two teams. Myst, they're going to be on the defense. Battalion, Rook, he will have that bomb, and like I said, he's got to be that tip of the spear, and he actually gets some good wall bangs, or at least one shot on the Keck, so he knows the player's sitting already in there.
Yeah, S&D, all about information. You know, you don't really have to go for the kill if you don't need it. Get that info. There you see Xayah getting them shots on. Interesting that his teammate didn't come in there and finish it. The Battalion sitting down the guy. There we go. Xayah does finish the kill. Oh my gosh, goes for another one. Does get traded on bodies. Rook now getting one. That leaves just Kex sitting behind the couch. Knows where one player is. Xayah is feeling hot. He had to have heard him. He knows what's going on. That bomb is in the hands of Rook as he pushes towards B. Beautiful, beautiful strategy. What was that? Rook throwing the bomb down. Xayah on the middle of the map control. That's pretty much all you can ask for. Ooh, the Deddy is popped though. That's huge, but look how far away he is. I don't know if that's going to be too beneficial.
I mean, popping it right now, he's just trying to maneuver across the map as quickly as he can. Xayah, he is trying to lay down, but Kexi will get one. Is the trade going to come on in? Will Xayah challenge this? Oh my goodness, I thought Kex for a moment was going to try to take it. I would have liked to see him at least hop down and maybe not take himself right into the open, because Xayah basically could have been sitting at any single angle and won this freebie. Even though he was trying to watch with the Vaznev, he still won that gunfight easy.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had like stones in his hand and he would have won that fight. Kex definitely, I think that was a poor move, just running right out in the open. Maybe he didn't count and thought that was everyone. And not a fan of him running literally just out in the open. He'd even have to be up top. But that one's in the books. Kex more than did his job. So on to the next one. We'll see that Deddy pop from Xayah, see what he can get done here.
And I love how this map has kind of shifted. I see a lot of teams at the beginning of this game not really running too many B strategies or B hits, just due to the fact they know a player is going to be lurking. But now you kind of feel like being in the middle of the map is so crucial. Teams kind of force stack it now on the defense, so Myst, they immediately took that opening. They're going to be sitting now in a 2v3, trying to hold off this retake as Zeno, he gets one. Unfortunately, he slides a little bit too much, playing FIFA in his spare time, as unfortunately he will get gunned down, and now Kex once again put into a 1v2, and it's going to be against Rook and Xayah again. Kex gets one, Kex gets two, and the body shots to boot, as he will get his revenge. Myst tied up at one apiece.
Oh man, that almost killed me. Like, no one ever looks up. He has the coverage of the boxes. Like, you gotta check these spots. It's not like that's the first guy to ever sit there. You think, where's he gonna stand? Is he gonna stand out in the open or in a favorable spot? You gotta check the favorable spots. I mean, even just put one or two shots, even if you're like, you know what, I don't even think he's in here, but I'm gonna shoot this spot anyway. Like, just get it done, get him out of there. Rookie move, not catching that. That's two people caught off guard. It's unacceptable.
Ulrich also kind of bashed through that door, and I thought he actually caught a glimpse at him with that shoulder check. Unfortunately, he did not get that information. I thought Kex was going to go down immediately, but look at him fly across the map as now he's worked his side in to the top side bar, and now he's looking to hop down onto one more as he should be able to find it. Oh, and there he grabs it. That's 3. Oh, goodness, give Kex all 4. He gets it done in around 20 seconds. This man, this is why he is the featured player of the match.
I don't think he lost Deddy that whole time. He was just moving. He was cooking up like crazy. Absolute, like, killer route. Like, no one knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He hit all of his shots, checked all of the points. Didn't even really need any call-outs. He peeked the corners and then went for it. Went back around the corners to heal up. I mean, this guy just has it down. We've seen his S&D stat line. We've seen it there, what he's able to get done. Kex, great job, man.
Absolute takeover potential, and he might do it again. He's just going and challenging he doesn't even care. This man is on a mission 9-1 as he busts through it. Zaya gets 1, Zaya gets 2. So a great route taken by the side of Battalion, but look who's also on the flank. It's going to be Strezzy, as he might catch out one of these players. Zaya tucks himself back into a corner as Strezzy's dead silence does run out. He had it popped for a long period of time. And number 7, Stun a Goat, he's on the outside wall as well. They're playing tip-tap-toe around mid-site. It will be easy. Grabbing another one. Stunna left in the 1v3.
Man, Strezzy, on my screen, that looked like a one-tap. I thought he got sniped, but that was just all headies and deady. Great shot there. Stun a Goat on his own. Zaya really turned it up with that double kill. There we go, Stun. Got to work those corners. The other 2 players are pretty much staring at this bomb. They probably got eyes on it. They know where it's at. He's definitely at a deficit here. He has to look up top. There we go. I don't know if he's seen the peak. He did. All right. Interesting. I don't know why you'd hop down there, but he won that battle somehow, but lost the war. Battalion gets that one now. 2 up both sides.
And I think if you're Shadow, all you really needed to do was, you could just have laid down and let him work on into that point and then hop down and just double chow them. But either way, as long as he got a few shots onto him, he knew his teammate was going to clean it on up, and that's exactly what happened. As Shadow still yet to find a kill on the Battalion side. Same with Strezzy on the opposite end for Myst. I love that call. You're like, I don't know why he took that one. I was grinning over here, but we're back tied at 2 apiece. Stun a Goat going all the way to the top side deck, and he might have given it up a little bit too early. Zaya has all that information on Strezzy. He knows he got spotted. He immediately backs down to the wall, and I think a nade came on out from him as well, so tags up Zaya. Now quickly, he pulls out the sniper and see what he can find with it.
Oh, I love myself some snipers, but I only love when they're doing something with it here. You know, they're locking down this side. I think he just got some eyes. So the player's going to hook around left. Beautiful read. Oh, yes, Strezzy out of here. That's another fat donut round for Strezzy. Shadow also trying to get something done here. All of Battalion is up. A lot of shots coming in there. Oh my gosh, that was just all at the same time. Kex with a nice double stun. A Goat gets a kill, leaving Killrook immediately by himself.
And in this 1v2 situation, the bomb is down and they're both stacked up, so I like this play by Myst, and he hasn't opened up the door, and he knows one player's got to be sitting in here as he goes out for the challenge. Unfortunately, found himself at a little bit of a disadvantage because he ended up bunny hopping and taking a shot straight up into the ceiling. And then Kex, he is sitting at 12-2. This man could be going for the kill record on El Asilo. He's 12-2, and it's only going into round 6, Chef.
Oh my. Kex is just showing out. I mean, he's kind of stealing Strezzy's kills, but he's carrying him a little bit here. Interesting to see if the sniper could pull out any more moves here. I do like seeing some snipers. If anyone on Myst will answer that play, or if they take that into consideration and all just rush. We know Kex is super hot with it. he kind of missed his stun there, and I kind of feel like Kex stuck his teammate, but Shadow still pulling off of that double, gets traded off with the nade. Oh, puts that bomb down a little too quick. Xayah, not a force to be reckoned with. This man can read, stun a goat on his own with the sniper. You know, you can get that first kill, but the trade off the sniper, that's the tough one. If you can follow it up, you got to keep these players split up. You know, the pistol has some damage, but I don't think he could get both. But they're split up. We'll see.
I don't like the way that Myst for the past 2 offensive rounds. They did the exact same thing. I think Stun a Goat, he just switched to the north side of the map and pulled out that sniper. Oh my goodness! He wins the battle on the easy. That is simply one he should not have been able to take. But he gets it into this 1v1 situation. And now Xayah. But I want to go back to Myst. When they ran that, Xayah came in on the flank and found a double both times, and he did it again. And now, just with a few seconds left, is Xayah going to play a 50-50? And I think he is. And he goes out and challenges Stun a Goat. He does it. The flank and the bait. Myst. They will finally take a 2-round advantage.
Wow, beautiful play. There's 3 options that man could have came out of, and he went for the most likely least checked, and he peeked. He was looking right at it, gets all the shots chest up, down to the final millisecond. What an amazing read. He's not Stun a Goat for nothing. He is the GOAT of that round. Strezzy, come on, make this easier for your team, all right? Myst could be walking away with this. Let's see, Stunna. Pull that snipe. Let me see it. Was that a hit marker? No! Feels bad. That feels even worse.
Oh no, and they didn't even leave their spawn. They just let him right into that trap. Xeno's hit down to 6 HP, so he immediately has to back up, and his dead silence just runs out as he's trying to at least get one. He knows he's getting challenged by every single angle, but he is maneuvering like an absolute beast, and he still somehow gets one. And this is something that Xeno should not be able to do, and Xayah finally cuts him down, and once again, Stun a Goat. He's put into a clutch situation, but Chef, my biggest question is, how do you stun a goat?
Not running the opposite of a flashbang, I'd say. Look at how it was. What was going on there? Man's AFK or something. Bomb's going down. Interesting to see if he could work towards pick up the gun. Both these players are very close to each other, so it's going to be hard to get the trade off of it. Xayah is a tough man's to get. I love watching it. I'm glad I ain't in it. There we go. Okay. Nothing too crazy that time. Battalion getting that one. Myst, like you said, they just got one strat pretty much. And she works fine. But it's counterable is the problem. The counter they're not ready for. They can't bounce back from going one out. One player drops. It seems like 2 or 3 more do. There's a lot of weaknesses and flaws in the plan, but when it works, she's cooking.
That's the biggest thing for Battalion. Can they get this one back to even, as they've just been kind of, like you said, countering these offensive attacks and right back to it. They're not doing anything different.
Same thing.
Myst, they have to start changing up their strategy. And look at Xayah. He's doing the exact same thing again. He's just running this round. He should be able to find 1 or 2, but they finally get a kill on the board. It is Strezzy. And finally, off the donut into the breadstick. He made his reservation at Olive Garden. They surely are delicious. As finally, it will be Xeno. Maybe trying to get that bomb down as Killrook gets one, but Stun a Goat. He put away the sniper as well, so I love this mid-round adjustment. At least putting away the sniper, but easy. Left into this technical 1v3 with a bomb down. Both of the players sitting on the site, and you have one of the toughest players from the side of Team Myst. That is Kex, sitting at 13-4, looking to find this final kill.
Wow. Kex with the bomb plant as well, really pulling in heavyweight. He hears them in there, moving around. Ize gave up his position. Some shots going in his back. He's just going to get picked apart. Myst takes that one. Seems kind of easy for them on that round. And, you know, they ran a very similar line, and I think it just came down to Zaya losing that 50-50 on the stairs to go in Myst's favor. And, you know, with that working, I just see him doing the same thing again. And it's working most of the time. It's working, you know, 5-3, I'd say, is about how many times it's working. So I keep doing it, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how you came up with that 5-3 prediction. That is just incredible. It just took the words right out of my mouth. As finally Myst. They are back on the defense, actually, as Zeno, he pushes right through bottom middle, but maybe stomping a tad bit too loud. Zaya, he has just ran the most aggressive routes this entire game. Kex gets 1 for 1. Unfortunately, his teammate was a part of it. Quickly into the 3v2 for Battalion to work their way back on in. And Kex, you're going to be taking these 1v1s, I think, a majority of the time. Is he going to be expecting him lying down? And he was, but Zaya, a little bit too quick on the trigger. Back into a 1v3 for Stun-A-Goat. Can he clutch this up again?
Yeah, so he's being put in these 1v3s, if you've seen there, as he was all the way top on Electric. I mean, he's not really doing anything. Like, it hasn't been B all that often. They've been going A. It's been working. And he's rolling in with the AR in SMG territory, and it's just not going to work. You know, the whole team of Myst just was not in there. You know, Kex pulled in the team kill with the strike, and then Kex was just by himself in there. Stun-A-Goat, you know, was calling in. Who knows who he was calling there, long distance on the Electric line, but it wasn't any help whoever he called. He came in there and just got wiped clean off like a butt wipe. So off to this next one. You know, Myst just needs one round. Let's see.
And are they going to decide to switch it up? And it does not seem to be the case. I'm really hoping they go over to that B site, but Strezzy, he's going to be watching that flank, but Killrook, he gets aggressive easy, finds the first blood as well. And so now you're sitting to a 2v4. Shadow gets the kill on to Strezzy. And all the players of Myst, wow. You blink and you missed it. They are now tied up. We're going into a round 11, Chef.
We're going into a round 11, and I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like a round 11. Like, it seems like Myst is just, like, not doing it, and Battalion is answering it so well. Like, if Myst came out here with 1.5 strategies, they would have got this easy, but they only had one. And Battalion knows exactly what to do about it, and it works every time. That's why, you know, it's attack, defend, attack, defend. We're going back and forth. Off to this last round, Myst is defending. I'd like to see where Kex is at here. It's looking like, yeah, you went right up in the middle, defending the point. We got one man down. You know, what good was he anyway? We saw 3v4 like it's been. And look at Stun-A-Goat all the way at the top. He is holding it off. Thankfully, this is a B push. So Goat is in the spot, but he gets stunned. That's how you stun a Goat right there, my friend. He's out. They know exactly where he is, trying to hold off this building. The push is coming.
One thing I can appreciate about you, Chef, is how honest you are. You do not sugarcoat it. You don't put any extra salt on the wound. You just say it as it is. But if there's one player you want in this 1v3, it's Kex. Oh, he's going to find a freebie. No, he does.
Shocked.
And now into the 1v2, and I think this is the smartest thing you can do for Battalion. Just split up. As Kex, he gets tagged up.
Stop it.
27 seconds. Can he go on in? He gets tagged, but Zaya, he finds the final kill. And Battalion, they will get it done. They tie up the series at 1 apiece. And I don't know what was going on with you, Chef, but you were making some strange noises back there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to let him cook, but he just ain't got the sauce to get it done. Kex really holding it down 17-6. Like a seriously amazing job out there. It's just because your one route worked so dang well. Keep doing it, I guess. But Battalion was just answering where the rest of the team was at. Stun-A-Goat was getting left in those 1v whatever situations just because he was just out of the map pretty much, just waiting. So apparently we got a clip.
Get it done. Get him out of there.
See what's going on here. Rookie move. Not catching. That's 2 people caught off. I believe this is it's unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be that four-piece that I thought he actually caught a glimpse at him. He got it done, and I mean, I'm taking a look at the clock right now, and it's going to probably end right around 1:05 as he's going to find that second player. And like you said, the dead silence, it did not run out. But after doing all of this for your team, and you still lose in the round 11, this was their only strat that was different, especially on the defense. They ran a flank, but they kept getting outplayed. They did not even adjust their own offensive strategy because it was Kaya who was just kept coming on in those backsides, and it was unfortunate for the side of Myst. Like you said, they're just kind of a one-stop shop in the search and destroy, and it ended up biting them in the tuchus.
Yeah, their route pretty much kept putting them in 50-50 situations. Zaya had amazing reads on that series, a lot of doubles, and just great positioning from their team overall. It just seemed like a whole effort of everyone getting where they needed to go, getting done what they needed to get done. And Myst just kept running the same strat over and over. I liked seeing the sniper come out. I don't think it was used in its full potential in locking down lanes that were ideal in the situation. Him going towards electric, I didn't see anyone from Battalion even really going that way. And what help did it do? Because the other 2 points, A and B, aren't even on that side of the map. So maybe they have to get back to the drawing board on their strats, because I feel like they were just so close to getting it right, and they just couldn't get it done. Maybe it's because the new players on there, and it kind of messed the S&D strats, because with S&D strats, they're huge, and they're so close. They're so close.
Especially in that A site, we were saying how don't get bullied out of it, and that's exactly what happened to Myst. They were literally going to the A site in a 3v4 every single time because they always had a player who was sitting on that outside field, maybe trying to catch a pick. But Battalion, they weren't even having it. They just said, hey, let's take 4 players, push them on into that A site, have one go on a quick wrap, and that was it. That was game set, and it was always putting Stun a Goat literally, I think, in 3 or 4 1v2s or 3 situations. He got one of them, but that's just simply too much to ask of that man to get it done round after round. And it was the offenses for Myst that kind of was so lackluster. They weren't able to create anything new. It was stale bread, essentially, as they will end up falling in that round 11. But heading on in to this hotel, we got to take back a look at the feature player, Kex. He was doing it all. Unfortunately, it just still wasn't enough.
Yeah, teamwork. Big word here for Myst. Individually, the players were doing great. And besides Drezzy, but everyone really was kind of pulling their own weight in their own way, but not as a team. And the team kill from the streak even kind of shows it that maybe the call outs aren't there. Like Kex is like, hey, I'm gonna streak right here, and Strezzy just gotta be like, no, bro, like I'm right here, I got the guy, don't worry about it. Whatever the call needs to be. Maybe it was just the teamwork and the sense of communication just was lacking. But I was seeing trades, but there was just a lot, and I feel like teamwork is just really where Battalion came together, and Myst individual strength just wasn't enough to get the job done.
Fundamental flaws, I think you could say, in that map too. Like you said, it was the trades coming through a majority of the time for Battalion, and they always had that numbers advantage, which really gave them, I think, that edge and allowed themselves to work back in. As they were sitting down 4-2, they won that swing round, got it into a 4-3, then a 4-4. Myst took the lead, but still, it felt like something was missing. It was clearly their offense. But let's talk about the next map coming on up. It will be Breenberg Hotel again. That map won hardpoint 250 to 247. It was very clear that Myst came out hot and they were swinging, but kind of sputtered out near the end of it. They just weren't able to get control of that point. No pun intended.
Yeah, from what we've seen, honestly, both maps, right? Because we got 250, 247, and 5.6. Like, it's coming down to the wire, but it's really kind of not. Like, map 1, Battalion just woke up and was able to answer it back. It should have been very one-sided from the way it started. And the second round there, you know, with Myst being so close, but Battalion just sticking together and ends up winning it. You know, with Control, it might be the same way. I feel like we're going to come down to time on one of the rounds, and we're going to come down to kills on the next, and we're just going to go back and forth, pretty much like Hotel always is. Everyone attack A, and then everyone attack B, and then maybe we'll get a B hit, and then A. You know, the usual kind of stuff, and it seems like that's where we're going to go here.
Battalion, I think they can't overcommit. If Myst wants to take this control, because you can tell the momentum is clearly in Battalion's favor. Like you said, they kicked up at the second half of that hard point, and then they kicked up at the second half of that search and destroy, and they came away with the win. So with it being tied at 1-1, with all this momentum, you think Battalion should be able to at least take this map and potentially the series if it ends up, or when it does go to that map 4. As Kex, he will be sitting on the defense, and right away, you just don't see these trades, and Zaya, once again, he doubles up one. Can he find another? Doesn't seem to be the case, as Zeno, he's trying to sit into that L position, but already onto this B site. It is full control for Battalion, and they already have that first tick of progression on the board.
Yeah, the first tick is huge. I love the B hit, you know, and if you get all wiped out, which looks like they just did, you spawn right over on A, but Strezzy, this man is on a mission. He is looking to get this one done, works right over to the restaurant. Absolutely love it. Able to slow him down. It's off to Zeno to try and hold this off. You know, A is usually a freebie, but I love that they're still fighting for it. I think that they kind of have to let him have this one because they're going to be losing a lot of bodies as we're tied up on kills right now. They're closing in, though, but maybe they're just looking for 4 kills after they cap it.
The adaptation of this map as well is actually kind of interesting because those teams who do get that B site early, teams have adjusted on the defense to be able to hold on to that restaurant to where they have pushed out the entire enemy side of the spawn and making sure they have that kitchen control because it's so massive. Because you know that player's always going to be lurking there, potentially wanting to shoot you in the back, so you will never have all the eyes where you want it in those initial engagements. And so if you're Myst or one of these two teams that's on that defense in that situation, all you got to do is be a distraction so your player can come in on that flank at the correct moment, get those timings. But right now, Myst, they're kind of sitting on their heels as Battalion. They're starting to push the pressure, and nobody's sitting at the side of the top apartment, or at least the bedroom, and that's where you need to be able to potentially take over, or at least close out this defense.
Yeah, I seen Easy up there. Looks like Kex wants to go for that fight. I love these positions where you have to get them in order to literally do anything. Kex, oh my god, just doing what he does. Strezzy, really turning up on this one. Love seeing that. B, very nice defense. I love that they're finally figuring out this apartment. They got it locked in. Here we go. Open the door. I mean, Shadow, you already know, but look at that. That actually looked like some teamwork. They pushed in, got the trade, back and forth, back and forth. Zeno looking like he's the king of the hill right now. Zaya really just by himself out there going after Kex. Gets that as well. Gets in that spawn. Somehow Strezzy still spawns right in there behind him. Battalion looking to get some progress, but I don't think they had the lock on the positioning to get that, and that comes true because they all just got wiped. And look at the respawns. I just noticed that. Sheesh.
And already down to 2 lives remaining, and Battalion, they're not going to be able to take this offense, but honestly, you're kind of thinking that's not too bad because you get 4 ticks on the board, even though you get outslayed. Myst, they're going to be on the offense now. The one thing that you pointed out was the teamwork for Myst was starting to look relatively good. They were actually in position to get each other's trades, even if they went down, and they were putting themselves into great spots on the map, especially in that top bedroom control where you saw Kex slide on in there and win 2 of those gunfights. And that's the biggest thing when you are on the offense that's so annoying. If there's a player roaming that top bedroom, you have to clear it out before you can even think of attempting to go on that B site.
Yeah, Battalion just didn't have map control when they went for it, and they lost full, and that pretty much summarizes the entirety of that B. And we see Myst with the opposite strategy, just attack A, get it over with. Battalion looking to try and surround it. I love seeing Shadow work all the way back through Kitchen, but Zeno is reading it here. This one's going to be big to see if they can get A at all, but it's already secured, so forget all that. It don't even matter.
And Zeno, he's trying to split the gap right now and get into a great spot sitting behind this check-in desk as he's maybe trying to get a phone call, but unfortunately explodes on in his face. So nothing will be going through in the communications as he's still once again snaking. This is the thing that has impressed me the most about Myst, is that snaking ability, because it is something like I've never seen before, unless it's the pro side, but he has put himself into a great spot. Can he stay alive? No, Killrook. He will get that trade, but Kex, he's immediately there for the initial, as he's going to try to win another one, and he gets it against Zaya. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates aren't winning any gunfights, but Kex again! He somehow wins another one, as now he's sitting waiting for the regen, but he is causing so much stress for Battalion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's snaking or if they rock in the battle beaver and they're beavering. I don't know what you want to call it there, but that is working behind the desk, behind any cover. You got to catch these Myst guys out in the open if you want them dead, because they're just bobbing and weaving like Jack and Steven out here, and they are just absolutely destroying. Kex finally falls off of his kill streak. Son of Goat somehow 5-5. And that's still a great stat line looking against Battalion, because they can't get much done here. They're falling behind in kills again. They are defending this B pretty well. We got 30 seconds left. I think Myst is trying to turn up the kills. Their positioning isn't too fantastic, but the kills definitely are.
The one thing I like how you pointed out, Stun a Goat, as he's sitting at 5-5 or now 6-6. Is when you're sitting at a stat line like that and you're not getting a bunch of kills, you just don't want to be giving away your life for free and putting them in jeopardy of getting outslayed in that round. Unlike Killrook right now, as even though he is the submachine gun, he's sitting at 8-16. Same with Zaya. They're being so aggressive on the map, and sometimes I think they just need to slow down, put themselves in a corner, and let the players come to them, which they're finally starting to do. Zeno, you're going to be the only player to maybe hop on in, as it's a 5v7, and all he needs to do is just stay alive for a little bit longer and allow the reinforcements to come on in. He's doing exactly that. Can the side of Myst get it? S3 will go down, and now only 2 players are left. They're going to stack it. They're going to get this second tick, but easy, he will get one, and now it's a 1v5. Can they get it? Shadow, what do you have? Nothing left in the tank, and Myst. They will take the offense due to lives, but they also got the ticks advantage with one more on the board.
Wow, what an insane ending. 2 seconds, 2 respawns, and 0 chance of getting it. Myst, amazing job there. Battalion almost had it on time, and Myst finally put it all together. Everything added up at the end there, and they had all the answers. I feel like Battalion needed to win that one, because usually this is a back and forth kind of map. It's really, offense normally can get this, but Battalion, losing that one, I think that they could lose this control now.
The player that I highlighted here before the series started was Zeno, as he is that substitute for Myst. And I said if he got started and didn't slow down, he is going to be a tough player to stop. But if he was cold to begin with, he would stay cold the rest of the series. But it has been a delight to see him as he sits at 18-13. Kex is still running this map as he sits at 23-11. Killrook's trying to get onto that A site, but like you said, Strezzy having a great bounce back game, sitting at 14-16. Unfortunately, he does fall, and once again, it should be the A site going in the favor of Battalion. But once again, it has been the B site that has been their kryptonite. They really haven't been able to find much of an opening. As the side of Myst, they've really just got to stretched out their entire lineup, finding a lot of these 1v1s. But if Battalion can start winning those, it could be a great chance for them to take this offensive round.
Yeah, Ize, I love where his positioning was in the middle of the map. He's now rotating with the rest of his team to try and get over here. I mean, we could watch Kex all day just pulling off amazing stunts like we see here. Zaya now working towards this position. Stunna Goat is the man in the powerful defense spot, trying to get this one done. Zaya up top, waiting on the attack to get done. Oh, but now Xeno wins a very important fight. Killrook able to get Stunna Goat out of there. Some deadies getting popped. It's a full-on 50-50 battle right here at the apartment, and it could really go either way. No progression done. Just over a minute left. Kills are tied. This could go either way.
And Easy, he got a phenomenal read as he shot through the door. Kex finds two, but Killrook with the return. Strezzy is there. Shadow trying to check himself in. He does get one, unfortunately. There was a security guard there as he wasn't allowed to get a freebie. As it will be once again Myst. They stabilize, but the lives, they're sitting at 11-10, so this is doable for Battalion. Unfortunately, what Myst has done so well is that they've taken over this top bedroom and bottom bedroom control. And I don't know what happened to Xeno, but he just dies. Maybe he fell a little bit too far, but Killrook and Shadow. And this is the opening that Battalion needed.
Yeah, Battalion... Now, let's keep in mind they have to get 3 rounds in a row, and Myst only needs to sneak in 1 in there. That's 2 ticks down. The respawns are still tied, but it's close. Strezzy getting the team kill there. That could be huge on him. 26 seconds left. No one sitting on the point. All 4 looking to push in. Stop the clock. Stop the spawning. Stop the capturing. A lot of stopping, and I need someone to start doing something. And Xeno pulls the double. He's doing it. 2v3. They have to walk all the way across the map. 10 seconds left. They have to run right into it. Myst has the defense set up. 6 seconds. There's no way they're getting the tick. They're going to have to get all 3 of these kills. Able to get in it. 2 seconds left. And Myst was just waiting on them. Great positioning. 3-0 here. Even though they were 3 pretty close rounds.
And once again, the player that went big was Kex right here because they 4-stacked it, and he gets 2 off the rip. And then Xeno, I think, ends up getting 1 before he goes down, but Kex with the 3rd, and that was literally the dagger, I think, for the side of Battalion. But this series, it just doesn't feel like it's over. Myst, they're winning these rounds, but it doesn't feel like it's extremely dominant, right? We've been talking about this. Myst, they're allowing the side of Battalion to kind of just stay on in. Yeah, it was a 3-0, but it wasn't a crushing or dominating 3-0. They came down to a lot of, 1v3s, 2v3s, but still they clutched it up this time, even though they weren't able to do so in the S&D.
Yeah, Kex 33-15. Oh man, the man's just chef's kiss, okay? He is cooking out there. I love to see it. Hard point onto the next one. We've seen Battalion have slow starts on it and come back hard. So, I mean, rocking on the fort, I don't know. We're getting some close stat lines. It was 3-0 on that last one, but like we're saying here, it didn't feel 3-0 in the game because it came down to the wire every single time. But Myst really just came through at the end of those rounds. They had the strats. They have the last second push that Battalion just didn't for control. But we know from experience Battalion has that for hardpoint. And maybe Myst realizes that, it ain't as easy as they thought. Battalion came out and they are out here to play. And I think Myst can pull this one off because they're just slightly right there to get it done easy, but it's just not getting done easy. Battalion's doing an amazing job holding on and fighting.
Battalion, I think, coming on into this map 4, it will be the Al-Bagra Fortress. And this is kind of an interesting one, right? You run that 2-2, that AR and some machine gun. In some of these, you might switch it up and run 3 subs and 1 AR. It really depends on that hill, so expect to see some players kind of switching up which weapons they're going to be using. But the key hills you're going to have to do is chain that P2 to P3, the gallows to that fountain. Because once you do that, you're basically guaranteeing yourself, granted that you don't get broken or lose a lot of time, 100 points, which is going to be so massive in the beginning of it, and that's where a lot of these teams are going to have to get started. Myst, they did it in the Hardpoint Hotel map 1. Can they recreate that success is going to be the biggest question.
Yeah, and anchors are huge in this map. Like you said, chaining those 2 points together, it really falls on that anchor. Of course, it's all teamwork, but just these players seem like they just want to go out there, they're run, gun, and Myst just needs to kind of chill a little bit, let each player play their role, win their fights, get their positioning, get the points, and get the dub. And it's so easy. I don't know, maybe they need some coaching over there. Maybe their leader needs to get more vocal, get their communication in-game together. But I feel like it's just right there. Just that one piece is missing, and maybe we'll see it on this next map.
And potentially it's due to, having both teams with a substitute in could really make the difference in how the flow of this team is going across the map. And so Zeno, he's been doing a great job filling on in. And Myst, like we said, they are on that miracle run right now. If they get this, they are in the winner's bracket. Surprisingly, only being at 2 and 3, that is massive for them. And they need to get it done here. I think in this map 4, if it goes to the search and destroy, the way that we saw it, it's just not going to be good. And Kex, he's been doing it all series long, going massive.
Yeah, Kex absolutely crazy out there. They said Misfire still recovering. He's not out there today, getting subbed out, and that could be big. The 3-2 win, that would be huge for him. Puts him in almost 3rd place. And then going into the tournament, of course, the Amateur World League here with some intense action. It doesn't get much closer than this. It's like there's still a lot more games left, right, for the season. And I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, both of these teams, I think, are right at that cusp. They're middle of the pack right now, as you can see at that number 7 and number 8. But Myst, they had a massive roster change, and since that's happened, they got that first win. And then now they're looking like they could grab that second and go 2 and 3 with an overall map record of 5 and 10. This is such a big momentum boost for them. In Battalion, sitting at 2 and 2, you're not really sure how they're going to do against those top teams. They're 7 and 8 in the overall map record. They need this win to at least secure themselves in that top 7. And like you said, into the top 3. I don't think that will be the case, even if they get this series win. But it's got to start here on this Fortress to push it to that search and destroy map 5.
Yeah, and S&D is clearly Myst's strong suit, pending their strats, of course, but I think that they can get it done, and we'll see if they can even get that far if just Myst wins it right here. Kex has been doing an amazing job. Stunagoat, Zeno, and Strezzy all had their points of shining, and some back and forth action here with Killrook being the only one not dropped from Battalion. And no points to be had yet as all the players try to get set up. It's looking like really anyone, honestly. I mean, Strezzy's the closest one to the point, but not really sitting on it. Has to get past Shadow. And Shadow gets it, but no one wants the points. They're free 99.
Shadow's done a great job filling on in, but I think the side of Battalion, they're really feeling that loss in Misfire because he is an absolutely incredible AR, and he has that takeover potential that you look for on a team. And when you are now looking at this overall series, it doesn't feel like anybody on Battalion has really done that. Killrook maybe in the map 1, but the rest of the teammates, it feels like they're working together as a team, but nobody has really just extended themselves to that next level to catapult them into the lead and be able to take some of these respawns. Because right now, Myst, you have Zeno, you have Kex, you have so many of these players that could go off, and they are doing so here in the map 4.
Yeah, well, Zaya did do a great job going off in that S&D. I did see some doubles from him. He definitely stepped up there, but haven't seen his name much in the respawns. And that's really huge. He's Ize sitting on the Ize 06. Big yikes. No time on the hill. Just 6 seconds total for the entire team, and it's all Shadow. Myst is off to a hot start, but let's remind ourselves here, it's almost exactly what we seen on map 1 where Battalion came back. It could happen again. I don't know, but you know, the way you're able to string hard points together on this map is huge. We see Battalion has the spawn, has the defense, has everyone set up, and Myst is still able to infiltrate in there. It's gonna be on Stunna if he can work past over towards this point. Zaya got the easy spot here. Shadow got the easy defense. You just stay on your side, watch your back, watch coming through tunnel, and you should have it.
The one thing I didn't like, I believe it was Shadow who worked himself to the front of the point to reinforce it, but he gave up the back spawns when he did that. And so immediately at 30 seconds Myst, they're back on it, at least contesting it. But as I say that, it just feels like the trades are going back and forth. And Myst actually had this rotation. We're talking about chaining that P2 to P3. And Xeno gets a triple, and they still weren't able to secure that Fountain Hill. And now heading on into the P4 cannons, they have full map control. That's 3 members dead from Battalion. So Myst, once again, they're set up, but this has been their kryptonite. They've had those rotations. They just haven't been able to lock down a majority of the time.
Yeah, Myst up ahead on every sense of the word: kills, points, positioning, defense. But Battalion, they're still holding on. They're still doing it. You see them pushing in here, able to get them out. Easy's the last one in the point to try and get it. But the spawns from Myst, no one is anchoring outside there, and that's going to keep them from refilling in. And Battalion just had Kill Rook pretty much spawn in there. And that's all they really needed to hold it off, and that was more points in their favor and a lot less going towards Myst. And I think those little wins is what adds up to Battalion able to come so close and come back so quickly. Is Myst will go for a big chunk, but Battalion has been nickel and diamond the whole time, and it just ties it up.
I know I was knocking on Shadow not having that takeover potential, but he's sitting at 11 and 7 easy. He was on 5 in a row, wasn't able to get that glide, and how massive that could have been to break some of these hills that are in the open, the P5, P1, P2, basically every single one except for this P4. But onto the Blacksmith we go, as it will be Xeno getting a natural pinch from the spawns as all members from Battalion go down. And now, I think Myst, they're kind of struggling at where they're going to spawn. And since he spawned at that double gate, they're thinking of players coming on in from backside gallows. But no, they're spawning out by that P3. And still, they're winning these initial gunfights. Zaya going to try to find an opening. He's unfortunately having a tiny bit of a rough game, sitting at 6 and 15. The submachine guns, that's the biggest thing that's been pushing the side of Myst further into this map.
Yeah, I feel like Myst could have defended that a lot better. There's really only 3 ways to get in there, and they had players in all 3 spots, but you know, they were just kind of looking all around, trying to wonder where Battalion was coming. It was pretty easy to know that, you know, you got your players where you got, you know exactly where they're going to spawn, and that was just an experience issue. You know, and I'd love for them to go back, look at the VODs and see where your players are standing and see where the opponents spawn, because it's pretty much the same every time on that hill. You know, and that's just those little things that Myst is like right there to making it easy. But they just make it a little harder on themselves, and Battalion just keeps getting them spawns, keep refilling. You know, it's not a kills game mode here, and you see most of them sitting negative, but they're still out there absolutely destroying on the points. Stun a goat there with a nice double. I think his trophy just got a kill. Xeno's sitting on a 2 KD. The score is still, you know, like 1 hard point away pretty much from Battalion being right there.
And Myst, they've pushed their way through the front of this Gallows Shadow. He's going to be the last player left alive, but I don't think he's going to be expecting Kex to lay himself down right in that spot. And now they will secure that backside anchor, like you said. But, oh, they might have lined up for a second stun a goat. He is there for the trades, and all he needs to do is stay alive. Unfortunately, he will go down. So as this P2 Gallows Hill pops, Battalion, this is what they need to find themselves right back into this game. As Shadow, he grabs 1, grabs, oh, not quite the second, as Strezzy, he's been on another level for the side of Myst. Since that map 2 where he only got 1 kill, he has been dominating in the control and now into the hardpoint map 4.
Yeah, I see, you know, Battalion pretty much just gets to respawn right on the point. And Myst, you know, they're getting the doubles, they're getting the triples, but there's an infinite amount of Battalion players ready to respawn. They have to push up, they have to anchor, they have to lock down the zone, push their spawns out. Looking at the stat line at this point, 190 to 80, a Battalion has a lot of work if they want to come back from this. I feel like Stun a Goat definitely could have moved up there to get this spot, but the other two players here are pushing in from stairs. Oh no, they get taken out, so Battalion's going to hold this. They have the anchors. We see number 5 there, Killrook down at the bottom. That's an anchor. That's what he's doing all day. He's doing his job, making sure he locks down that spot. And the other two just going hot, making sure they win their gunfights. The streak, you're not going to win that gunfight. And everyone else getting wiped out. Now Shadow in the spot, trying to hold it off. But Myst is going to take this one just off of their pure gun skill.
Yeah, and you just look at the slay power. It is basically plus 20 for Myst. Nobody from the side.
He wasn't
able to keep up. And unfortunately, it looks like we do lose a player in the second half of this one. Maybe he just left a tiny bit early, but Myst. This should be a map they're going to be able to wrap up tightly in a bow and take it home for some extra leftovers. As Kex, he is still on a spree, 28 and 17. Myst. They get it done in the respawns. The Search and Destroy not looking as clean, but they're probably thinking about the next series they're going to be playing.
Yeah, looking at the chat here, Killrook's PC reset itself. And it's funny, too, because I was calling him out for being an anchor, but that's pretty much exactly what you wanted to do. And it was still working for him. Battalion was able to hold that position. It's pretty much just Myst cleaning this one up. I love Battalion. They're still out here, still slaying it up. Still great gun skill, great positioning. Xeno just a full team wipe himself as he just locks this one down now. Battalion had a lot of work to come back from this one. We've seen it happen on map 1, but definitely not going to happen now with it where we're at.
Yeah, only 6 seconds needed as they're finally putting the dagger on into Battalion, and this is Myst. They have now punched their ticket into the winner's bracket of the Major 1 Qualifiers Week 5. They get it done in a 3-1, taking all of the respawns. And for Myst, you had a substitute on in. Xeno actually looked pretty solid. The biggest question for them is just consistency. I think at this point, it felt like there was kind of moments where they were a little discombobulated, but they got it together when it mattered in that map 4, able to secure this series in a 3-1.
Yeah. Interviews. Yeah, I'm down for some interviews. Let's get it. Let's get it. Who we got? Bring him on in. Well, while we wait for someone to get on in, Killrook looking like his game did crash. They're talking about maybe a reset, but it doesn't look like it. I think we're going to be locked in here. Kex! Oh man, Kex, Graf, go ahead and start with our man. So you've been hyping him up all night.
Yeah, absolutely. Kex, you had an incredible series. You were the featured player, maybe one of the highest rated search and destroys, and not to mention in that map 2, you got an absolute 4-piece. You completely took over. You got the ace. How are you feeling in that search and destroy? And what are your overall takes on this series?
I was feeling good. I think we choked a little bit because we were playing with a sub and not having the same chem we had with Llama. But otherwise, we played really good as a team. I feel like we could have played a little bit better, but it is what it is. We took the win, and we were just smoking. Came out late.
And I know you guys made a huge roster change as well. It seems like it's definitely paying off as now you've won back-to-back series. But yeah, talking about that search and destroy, it kind of felt like you guys were maybe, on the offense, maybe having that substitute, you felt like it was maybe a little bit stale. What are you going to be doing to work on and correct those offensive rounds?
I think we just need to play more as a team. I feel like Shezzy needs to play a little bit slower with his AR, and because him getting his AR picks is what's huge for us. If we get a pick, we can just fly at him, or we'd have a man up and we'd win the round more than likely.
Yeah, I love hearing that, and you get to go back and take a look at the VOD and see what you guys did wrong. But Kex, you had an absolutely incredible series, clearly the featured player and MVP. If there's anything you want to say to the rest of the AWL, what are you saying?
We're not coming easy on you guys. So.
Hey, I absolutely love it. And Kex, congratulations on this series win. I appreciate you coming on in and having this post-game interview with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We have who's this? Hammered. Okay. Oh, not an interview. All right. Like, who is this? All right. Cool. Kex is definitely showing up, showing out. Amazing job. Like you said, running with the substitution is always difficult, but both teams were. And maybe getting that substitution in on the team, get him one with everyone, get him in on practices, in on the strats, and maybe that is that little bit that Myst needs just to get it all together. But Battalion is right there. They got some crazy defense. They were like brick walls out there. They were just not letting Myst take them over, run them down. And I give them a lot of credit for how well they were able to put up with Myst attacking, and looking at the stat line, the history of both teams, Battalion was 2-2 and Myst was 1-3. But after tonight, I feel like the stat is pretty much where it needs to be. Both teams tied 2-3, and I think that they deserve to be tied because of just how close these games really were.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for, I think, Battalion is, you need Misfire back in the lineup. Maybe, like you said, just having substitutes from both sides, it's really kind of unpredictable how your team is going to be able to do. But he is an absolutely incredible AR. I think getting him back at full strength is going to really buffer that roster out and make them, once again, maybe a top contender in this league, but still a long way to go. And let's actually take a look at the standings once again and kind of show maybe how everything is shifting on up, because like you said, it was 2-3 now for the side of Myst, and I believe, taking a look at it, they are going to be sitting at an 8-11 record. Battalion, they're going to be sitting at 2-3 with a 1-11 or an 8-11 record as well. So I think Myst, they're going to overtake them and have that number 7 seed.
Yeah, and they'll be fighting Dynamics and Grave United for the elimination bracket, pretty much. Not sure when they get fully eliminated out. But looking at the rest of the teams here, I guess Vision is going to be sitting pretty there, knowing that they did not get taken out by Battalion tonight, because Battalion really needed to win that one for either of these teams to move up. They're pretty much just fighting each other, and I honestly think that they should be fighting each other because they were definitely evenly matched from what we've seen tonight. I can't speak for the other 4 teams there in the elimination bracket, but if Myst or Battalion can get their team together, get those substitutions working, or get their main player back, then they can start working up through the bracket again. But obviously, a team like Nola Flight just got it all together, and they'll just continue to dominate.
Indeed so. As once again, this is the last look taking at the Major 1 standings, Week 5 qualifiers. But everybody, I appreciate you tuning on into this stream for the AWL as the side of Myst take it in a 3-1 against Battalion. Chef, do you have any final words before we sign off?
Thanks for everyone watching and the players. Very professional out there. No one was shooting bodies too hard. Everyone was really showing out. I know that we had that lag out. It seemed to have been legit at the end. It probably wasn't too salty, hopefully, but everyone really did great. Amazing viewers out there, 50 plus, pretty much strong the whole way. I love seeing that for the amateur WL here. Thank you to Aslo putting on the production tonight, and Graf, of course, the amazing sidekick duo. We're both sidekicks to each other, to Aslo pretty much, but it's always amazing casting with you, buddy.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm always glad to hop into the co-caster chair with you, Chef, being at my side. But once again, congratulations to the side of Myst taking down Battalion in a 3-1 as they've locked in their winners bracket side for that Major 1 qualifiers. My name is Graf the Giraffe, here with the Gaming Chef, signing off for now.
Rookie move, not catching that. That's two people caught off guard. It's unacceptable.
Rook also kind of bashed through that door, and I thought he actually caught a glimpse at him with that shoulder check. Unfortunately, he did not get that information. I thought Keck was going to go down immediately, but look at him fly across the map as now he's worked his side in to the top side bar, and now he's looking to hop down onto one more as he should be able to find it. Oh, and there he grabs it. That's 3. Oh, goodness, give Kex all 4. He gets it done in around 20 seconds.
Get him out of there. Rookie move, not catching that. That's two people caught off guard. It's unacceptable.
Rook also kind of bashed through that door, and I thought he actually caught a glimpse at him with that shoulder check. Unfortunately, he did not get that information. I thought Keck was going to go down immediately, but look at him fly across the map as now he's worked his side in to the top side bar, and now he's looking to hop down on.